Well, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on where you are in the world today. Just double checking my audio settings, make sure that we are in the right place. Yes, I think we are. This is something looking good. Awesome. Very happy to be back again today and looking forward to what is in store for the collective today. Okay, so without further ado, let's get into it. So this is your general reading for today. Today is, I think, the 22nd of the 3rd. Yeah. But this is a timeless reading, so whenever you find this, it'll find you in your specific era and where you need to be. So let's see what the collective needs to know today about embracing a life of being healthy, wealthy, and wise. I have to tell you, I am feeling. Actually, one of my friends messaged me this morning. He goes, "How are you feeling today?" Because I was in a bit of a weird funk yesterday, which was necessary. I did quite a bit of shadow work over the weekend, released a lot of stuff, and I think just that purging, moving forward, and knowing that I had quite a lot of beautiful work to create with and for all of you through my various social media channels. And you'll see there's a lot of new content coming out, a lot of new work coming out, how ways that you can work with me to improve your health, wealth, and wisdom. Um, and yeah, I was just feeling really kind of, I would say depressive, but off kilter yesterday. And I was just very gentle with myself because I still had a lot of work to do um, for the day to prep for the week. And I really didn't feel like doing it. I was like, you know what? I'm going to be gentle. I'm going to still do what I can. And I managed to get the most important stuff through and done and beautifully so. So I was quite excited about that. And my friend who I told about this yesterday messaged me today and said, "How are you feeling today?" And I said, "Well, honestly, I feel exuberant. I woke up at about 2:30 a.m. this morning, which was way too early. I normally get up between sort of 4 and 5. So way too early. And I just decided, you know what, I'm going to do my usual morning meditation and just get into my day as needs be. And by the time I was done, I took a nap as well, got into my day, and I just feel absolutely incredible and so blessed to be back at my desk with all of you here today. So let's see what the cards have in store for us. Oh, already some beautiful energy coming through on the spiritual side of the deck. Those sleepless nights are definitely falling away. It seems as though the collective is starting to choose a direction. We have the Nine of Swords in reverse, paired with the Magician card, taking control of your destiny. That is beautiful. I love to see it. I really do. And the spiritual advice card is the Ten of Pentacles. Accept the fulfillment of this cycle that's coming in. Oh, on the physical side of the draw, we have the Queen of Cups in the subconscious position and the Page of Pentacles reversed in the conscious position. The advice card, Page of Cups. What am I getting from this? Definitely feeling as though that's an interesting energy, not one I get often. One of working with young people. Seems like that's where the collective's wanting to go. I'm not sure if that is working with your own children more. Oh, actually, as I said that, I started to get confirmation immediately. And it's interesting because another dear friend of mine, actually my business partner, and I were chatting recently, and her grandchild is, I think he's pre-teens, and he already has such a great business mind. And we said, really start them young and start to get them to embrace new and effective ways of creating wealth for themselves from a young age. Teach them how to work with money because we're not really taught that in the system. I mean, that was kind of my biggest gripe when I was in school. I would say to my teachers, why am I not learning how to do taxes? How am I not learning how the tax system works? Right? All of the things that I teach my students now and my clients about how to work within the bounds of the law and still create great generational wealth. These are things we should be learning as children. So I'm sensing here there's like I said, on the spiritual side of the draw, that sense of completion, taking control of your destiny. On the physical side of the draw, imparting that knowledge on to the next generation. Oh, okay. And then we've got the King of Cups, the fulfillment of that. But it is inverted. So I would say, hmm, be gentle with the sharing of that knowledge and really ground. Yeah, I'm hearing we need to ground ourselves in the knowledge that we are taking control of for ourselves before we, not before we start imparting it, because again, you only need to be a step or two ahead in order to be a good guide. But that's feeling like it's coming through quite strongly, that we need to ground ourselves in that knowledge. Oh, actually, what I'm hearing now is embodiment, embodying that energy. So, embodying the energy of being healthy, wealthy, and wise, being a holistic hustler in your own right. A sovereign, actually, I love this because I was brainstorming on the weekend and this phrase came out, which I'm going to be using in a lot of my social media, becoming the sovereign architect of your existence and of your life. Hmm. Okay, so now I'm going to just get some clarity from the Oracle deck. I want to see what comes out here. And today I'm being called to actually move straight into the I Ching after this. I want to see what the I Ching has to say about that. Let's just see what comes out here from the Oracle deck. But what do the angels want us to know today in regards to this energy? What does the collective need to hear? Oh, the timing is right for this new venture. This is the theme card. A happy outcome follows your positive expectations. The block, potential roadblock. As you honor and follow the guidance of your heart, prosperity is coming to you now. So, where are you not trusting your intuition or trusting that you have done the work? And you'll notice from a lot of my presentations that are being released this week. And if you coming to this later on in time, you'll find those in the different playlists on my channel as well. But you'll notice in those that I speak about the fact that in Chinese astrology, I'm a wood ox. And it requires a certain level of faith, but very much a slow, methodical approach to generating wealth. Where are you perhaps not trusting that the work you've done, that magician card, like that taking control of your destiny, where are you not trusting that that prosperity will follow? Because it is universal law, right? The advice card. I am the angel of marriage and I'm assisting you right now. And again, don't forget that whilst that usually sounds like it's very much a love-based thing, business partnerships are very much a marriage, right? We always talk about our work wife and our work husband. Think about where you might need to partner with somebody in taking control of these next steps. This is interesting. So the outcome card, I'm leading you toward the answer to your prayers. Please listen to and follow the steps I'm communicating through your intuition, thoughts, and dreams. What I find so interesting is the imagery on this card, and I'll hold that up on the screen, is an angel leading two children up some stairs to a new destination. And we were just talking about how there might be some energy around this of helping the next generation to reach their full potential. So that's very, very interesting. As I say, we're going to move straight into the I Ching though today. I'm not going to pull numerology cards. I'm not feeling called to do that today. Okay. All right, some beautiful young energy coming through already. Should have opened my notebook right at the outset. Sorry. As I said, a bit exuberant, and when I'm feeling a bit exuberant, I tend to forget the little steps. That Wood Ox energy doesn't come in as strongly because I'm just so excited to be here, I guess. Oh gosh, it's not. It's the 23rd, not the 21st. Gosh, sorry about that. It's the 23rd today. And let's see what this energy brings in. And if you're wondering what the bowl is that I use for my coins, it's actually a gift that my sister got me from Buenos Aires. And it's supposed to be, actually, they drink a very specific type of green tea out there. And she got me this with a lovely wooden straw. And unfortunately, one of the moves, the wooden straw got lost. And And I decided that, this bowl is so beautiful, and it was such a beautiful gift from my sister. Hey, Tay Tay. And I wanted to keep it. And I thought, it would actually be such a beautiful bowl to hold my I Ching coins. Okay, a lot of feminine energy coming out, which makes sense, I guess, given the fact that we're talking about helping the next generation. And please, again, don't forget that when we talk about feminine and masculine in these types of readings, it is not in reference to gender, it is just in reference to the energy. I love the fact that in the East they recognize that very, very early. Gender and energy are two very, very different things. Each of us has both capacities within us. Um, and actually, I love the fact that now the energy is turning very masculine. Interesting, which makes sense because there would need to be a certain level of action alongside the holding of space. So that's quite cool. But yeah, just I always think about how in the Bible, the divine is often spoken about as being both masculine and feminine in energy. So we have this beautiful idea of a strong protector, but then we also have this wonderful feminine energy of being someone who holds space for young children. So that energy is also coming out quite strongly today. I'm wondering where I need to perhaps embody that a bit in my own life. Okay, let's have a look, see here which hexagram this is. We have a beautifully balanced hexagram as it happens with masculine and feminine energies. Just double checking that. Yep. Number 12. And no changing line. So this energy for today feels quite, I won't say fixed. Fixed is the wrong word. But for today, the energy is very precise. Okay. Huh. So not a very positive reading from the I Ching, but then again, there needs to be this is a polarized universe, okay? So the image or the hexagram is stagnation. The image is heaven is retreating from you while the earth sinks lower. So this is a time of decline. Poverty, losses, and hard times surround you, but a change in attitude or outlook will help. Okay, we were talking about it, taking that love within and sharing it a bit more. You have to accept that communications are cut off and that you are being blocked. Don't be discouraged though. Good things can emerge from misfortune. Always look on the bright side of life. I've been actually humming that song the entire morning. Always look on the bright side of life. Da-da, 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 da-da. Relationships can be difficult now, so it's hard for you to know whom to trust or what to do. You're mixing with the wrong people. It's actually very important. So if you are nearing an end of a cycle or if you've completed a cycle, really take a hard look at what your circle looks like in terms of making sure that you are mixing with the right people, because we hear this all the time in books about creating a wealthy mindset. You are the sum of the 5 people that you spend the most time with. So you are mixing with the wrong people. Be modest, withdraw, don't make a fuss. Imposing your ideas on others won't work. So don't try and change the people around you. That's a fool's errand. For the time being, your best bet is to ignore offers that place you in a prominent role and to keep your head low below the parapet. You need to associate with a different group of people, follow what you believe in, and be prepared to try out your own ideas. What you thought was an obstacle turns out to be a cause for rejoicing. The bad times can be over. Okay. Oh, fifth line up, take a break, withdraw, and let something go. So actually, I'm going to read the trigrams because I don't normally do that, but I'm going to do that today because it's quite important. Now, bearing in mind that the lowest 3 lines are what we want, what we're going through, the top 3 lines are always about what heaven is bringing in for us. So the lowest line, as I said, is you need to associate with a different group of people, follow what you believe in, and be prepared to try out your own ideas. Second line, adapt to what crosses your path despite the obstructions that bar your way. You're beginning to understand how to deal with your situation, but this will take time and patience. Rome was not built in a day. Third line up, don't take on anything heavy. You don't have the confidence or the skills for it yet. Right now, you can hardly cope with your current workload. Don't accept suspicious gifts. Remember what we were talking about earlier about really needing to ground ourselves in that energy of the magician, of having taken control of our lives before we start to share that too much? Fourth line up, deal with the things that obstruct you now. Happiness is at hand. Take a break, withdraw, and let something go. Things are on the mend, so you don't need to worry so much. Top line, what you thought was an obstacle turns out to be a cause for rejoicing. The bad times are over. Okay, so now I am being called to do a numerology reading. So I don't normally do that in a different order, but now that I've done that, I'm like, I actually want to see what the numerology deck has to say. I'm like, because that was a very interesting reading from the I Ching. Letting people go so that we can accept in what is better for us. And again, like I said, on the tarot side, the magician card in that position very much spoke to embodying that energy of taking control of the direction that we want to move in, because this cycle that we may have been in is coming to a close or has come to a close already. Take it how it resonates depending on where you are in your specific journey. So very, very interesting. Let's see what's coming up. Oh, card just jumped out, the essence of life. So are you focusing on, again, what society says you should be doing, or are you doing what brings you fulfillment? And that is so important to ponder on and to really meditate on, because if we are going to be helping the next generation to embody true wealth, and true wealth is not, I mean, it can be involving the fancy cars and the penthouse and suites and all that good stuff that, society says we should want. But is it what you want? Because true wealth is not just money, it's not just fancy things, it's having the time and ability to actually enjoy that as well. I did not shuffle this properly. Bear with me. Gonna reshuffle that real quick. Um, so yeah, where are we? Where are we not in alignment? I think is what's being called for, right? What is your heart guiding you to, as came out in the Oracle deck, where prosperity actually lies? If we're maybe going, I don't know that that's what I should be doing. I'll never forget something that kind of shocked me was I saw this interview, and I think it might have been on one of their shows. Those of you who know me know that I'm a huge fan of the Kardashians, or as they call themselves sometimes, the Kardashians. And yes, I know reality TV, all the rest of it, but they are self-made millionaires and billionaires. Yes, they had a leg up, but they also did work really, really hard to grow their wealth. And what I found really interesting and a little bit shocking was the interview with the youngest one. What's her name? Kylie. And she said, honestly, I just want a farm with my chickens. She loves chickens. She, her vision was to have a ranch with chickens on it, and that was her thing. Here's this billionaire before the age of 25, and she's like, that would actually make me happy. I don't need the fancy cars and the jet set life and all the rest of it. I just want this. So really look into that, because, and the reason that that actually came out for her, funny enough, quite aligned with this reading, was because she just had, I think, her second child. And she was saying, what is a real life? I don't want my child to grow up thinking that all these flashy plastic things are what life is all about. I want them to see what life is really about. Oh, so the theme here is a crazy little thing called love. Number 6 is the energy there. The advice card, the action card, 41, aha ideas become reality. So what ideas do you have, or did you have, that you really need to embrace, that actually is what your heart desires? What do you love? And then the outcome card, project management, number 49. I'm actually going to look at that up, number 49, the energy there, because it sounds like, again, we need to be bringing in that really good ability to look at what our hopes and dreams are and actually planning for it. Because a dream without a goal without a plan is just a dream. Okay, so project management. This insight arrives to remind you of the deep satisfaction that arises when you devote your energy to something meaningful and bring it to completion. You have a natural gift for orchestrating moving parts, Seeing how each person and task fits into a larger whole, you're focused not just on successful result, but on building something of enduring value that serves others and stands the test of time, rooted in both practical action and soulful intent. The gift at hand is your extraordinary ability to bring coherence where there is confusion. You are blessed with a visionary mind and a steady heart, able to translate lofty ideals into workable systems. Skills like planning, budgeting, resource gathering, and time allocation are within your grasp. You carry the rare balance of creativity and discipline, and you may feel especially called to projects that uplift, restore, or transform communities for the better. Now, I want you as the collective to read, and myself as well, to really think about this, because sometimes we can say to ourselves, but I don't have those skills, I don't have that ability. The interesting thing is, it might just be that your soul is not able to bring those abilities to bear because you might be involved in stuff that doesn't sing to your soul. So again, coming back to, what ignites your passion? What is it that you really want to create in your life and for your world? And from there, I think you'll start to find that those abilities really start to come out. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to leave it there. Quite a short reading today, but it felt good. It felt really, really good. So thank you for being here with me. And I look forward to our next one. I am off to carry on recording. I've got a bunch of new content to release for you guys, some beautiful trainings, stuff on wealth archetypes coming out. My soft launch of my app is done. The hard launch happens today, or the full launch happens today. Very excited for that. And I'm launching a brand new course on YouTube. So check it out. It'll be in the one of the other playlists. It's going to be the 12 months to independent wealth and how to actually structure that out for yourselves. Learning everything from how to save properly according to your specific way of doing things that works for you, how to invest correctly, how to grow your income properly, um, how to then further your investment journey to be able to create that true lasting wealth. So very excited to be sharing that with you. But okay, I'm going to leave that here, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Till then, remember, everybody deserves to be healthy, wealthy, and wise. Ah, there we go.